Welcome back. I'm Carl from the Woodshop TV, and today I'm going to give the lay the rest again and restore this old chair we had out on the patio. It has a really cool steel base on it, but the wood, the seat in the back had seen better days. So I went ahead and replaced it all with Myrtle wood and used a dovetail slot to hold it all together. And today's video is sponsored by RZ Masks. There'll be a link down below in the description for a 15% discount, and I'll talk about it a little bit more at the end of the video. Let's get started. Help support the companies that support our community. Here's the chair I'm going to restore. We've had this thing for years and it's seen better days. It has a steel base on it and then a part that goes up in the back for the support. So it's oak. I'm not sure what the plywood was, but it needs to be replaced. So what they did is they did a dovetail on it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use Myrtle wood with it though, and do basically the same thing. On this front one I'm going to do a blind dovetail so you can't see that, and instead of doing just a piece of plywood, I'm going to do the slats all the way up this and gradually arc them back a little bit. If you can, let me put it back together here real quick so you can kind of see. Turn it around. So what they did was, I think these are probably 1.5 inches, and they just slowly went down, staying away from the dovetail there, and then brought them back up so it has a nice curved seat. And what I'm going to do on the back here is have them thick and just gradually go down so it creates that little bit of an arc. And I'll put a cap on the top of it too. So it's I really don't want to repaint the base. Let me show you here real quick. I like that. I'm going to wire brush it and just leave it like it is, but I'm not even sure what it came out of it. But on this side it has the tine's a lot bigger, so I think it was like hooked together. There were a few seats that went with this, but it's heavy. So probably gonna take them apart to move them, but it's I don't know, it's just kind of neat. I like that look. So I'm going to replace that. Here's the boards I'm going to use. They're about 6 feet long, and this one's about 11 and this one's 10. So they have some cracks and stuff in them that I'm going to have to work around. But what I'm going to do is take it over to the chop saw and cut them off a little bit longer than what I need, and then bring them back to the table saw and cut strips into them. And then when I'm all done cutting them all up, I'll start running them through the surface sander so they're the same thickness. So I measured the seat. I need 14 inches for that when I'm all done, and the back here is 19 inches. So I think I'm good. I have a couple pieces here that were cut off from the end that I can plane down if I need to. So what I need to do is, these are the larger ones. They're about an inch and a half. And what I did is I just kept moving the fence in 1/8 of an inch each time. So they kind of gradually go up and down, but I'm going to resaw these all after I get them planed down to thickness and get it all set up. But so what I'm going to do right now is run 8 of these through the surface sander. I need 4 of them for the front of the chair, and 2 for the back, and 2 going up for the back of the seat. I'm sorry. These are for the front of the seat, these are for the back of the seat. And then 2 at this thickness starting to go up the back, and then they'll gradually go up so to give it that curve. Alright, I have them all the same thickness, so what I'm going to do now is run them through, stand them up and run them through so I have a clean side for the table saw. Alright, I ran them all through the surface sander. I went ahead and did all 4 sides. I'm going to need to put them on the table saw and trim them down, but I just decided once I was there I did it. So what I need for the seat part of it is 15 inches, and I went down from 1.5 and then sloped them down to 3/4 on that. And then for the back, I started at 1.5 and I'll slope those back so it has a curve to it. So let me get them cut to length and start putting that channel in them. So the center ones here, the very thinnest one is 3/4 inch, and it leaves about, when I get the little slot in there, it leaves about 1/4 inch of material on top of it so that this thing matches up with the rest of them. But let's get to work on that. I have them all cut to length, and I just matched the original ones that were 18 inches, and then I just matched the dovetail too. If I had a router table with a miter gauge on it, this would be much easier, but I don't, so I'm going to do it on the table saw. So what I did is I just tilted the blade over to match that angle there, and then transferred it over onto this board. This board's warped, but once I start cutting them, they're going to be true. So it didn't really matter. I just wanted to get it close. And I took a square and lined up from the bottom here where it's going to make the cut so that I could line it up against my fence here like that, so they're all the same, and then I'll set my stop block here to match that right there, so they'll all be the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through and cut all the inside ones first. I'm going to leave 2 of them off that I'm going to do blind dovetails on. That's for the front of the seat and the back of the top. So I'm going to take 2 of them out. The rest of them, I'm going to start running these through. I'll do the inside one, switch the miter gauge over to here, and then do the other side. I'm just about done with these. I'm going through and cleaning up all the little spots that the saw blade didn't get. These are the 4 tenons that'll hold it all together. So I just matched the angle up on the blade again and ran it through. They're a little bit thick, so I went ahead and ran them through the surface sander. I just kept running them through the surface sander until I got the right thickness there, so they're flush. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work on the seat first, and I'm going to go from the thickest one in the front and just slowly drop them down. I'm going to end up sanding the whole thing, but I just want to get them close on the table saw. So I'm just going to keep dropping that down a little bit, and then when the seat comes back up, I'll start raising them back up. have it all put together, so I'm just gonna glue the front dovetails on and the back too, and just let these in here float. This is just regular wood glue. Okay, I have them all sanded up, so now I need to trim off the little slots I made with the dovetail on it. If my base has a steel back on it, if I didn't have that back on it, I would actually use part of that dovetail to hook them together, but it has a base that I'm going to screw it together. So I'm just going to run this through the table saw and cut these off flush. These two pieces here, I caught them on the table saw and they took little nicks out of them, and I wasn't going to use them, but I needed a little bit more height. So what I'm going to do is, this is the back of the seat here, and when I stand this up, it hides those little nicks there, so I can use them. All right, just going to run it through real quick and cut those off. All right, I'm gonna start putting it together now. I'll get it lined up here in a second. So I'm gonna screw the back on the bottom to the base, and then on the back here as well. So what I'm gonna do is get it all lined up here. I know if I had a router table, the dovetails would have went a lot faster, or even a dado blade would have sped it up. But it didn't take too long. I just stacked up a few of them and started running them through. But just love the look of the steel base, and the myrtle wood came out nice. I went ahead and put 2 coats on, but I still am going to put, I think, 2 or 3 more coats on before I put it back outside. All right, the RZ mask. I have been using one of these for over a year, and I love it. They're super comfortable. They contacted me about doing another promotion with them, and I said absolutely. They have a new style here. It's actually a little bit thinner than the one I've been wearing. This would be great for summer. It filters out 99.9% of the particulates, so all of the wood dust, it filters out, and it doesn't fog up my glasses, so I'm very, very happy with it. I'll put a link down below in the description to their website with a code in there for a 15% discount. All right, if this is your first time here, I have a new project video every Friday. I hope to see you there. Till next week, take care.